My beloved child, there is a conversation that was never meant to reach your ears, yet the silence around it has been carrying its echo for longer than you realize. Don't skip, because what you are about to hear connects directly to the title in a way that will surprise you. Something huge is waiting for you. Picture this moment. Your person was sitting with their brother late into the night, their thoughts unguarded, their emotions impossible to hide. As the conversation grew more honest, your house unexpectedly became the center of attention. Their brother looked at them with unusual seriousness and said that there was something unforgettable about your home, something that carried peace in a way money could never buy. Then the conversation shifted toward your face. There was a long pause before the brother admitted that your expression revealed strength, kindness, and a quiet confidence that people notice even when you say nothing. Those words stopped your person completely. They did not laugh. They did not argue. Instead, they became unusually quiet because deep inside they already knew there was truth in what had just been said. Don't skip. Every second is leading to a revelation that changes everything. What happened next made the atmosphere even heavier. Your person tried to change the subject, but their brother refused to let it go. He reminded them that some people spend their entire lives searching for someone who feels genuine, yet they had already crossed paths with a person whose presence felt like home. Something huge is waiting for you, because this was not simply praise about a house or a face. It was about the feeling that follows someone wherever they go. Your person stared into the distance as memories began returning one after another. The smallest details suddenly became impossible to ignore. The more they listened, the more they realized they had underestimated what your presence truly meant. The silence that followed carried more meaning than the conversation itself. Don't skip, because the next part uncovers why those unexpected words stayed with your person long after the night ended. Something huge is waiting for you. They walked away from that conversation with questions they could no longer avoid, and every answer seemed to point in the same direction. Their brother's words continued to echo in their mind, refusing to disappear. What they decide after this unforgettable conversation is far more shocking than anyone expected, and that hidden decision is about to be revealed. A new morning arrived, but the conversation from the night before refused to fade. Your person kept replaying every sentence in their mind, especially the unexpected words about your house and your face. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. The more they remembered, the more they realized their brother had not been speaking casually. Every word had been spoken with certainty, as though they had noticed something your person had been trying to ignore for a long time. Suddenly, ordinary memories became extraordinary. They remembered moments they had once dismissed, small details that now carried a completely different meaning. The feeling became impossible to escape, and for the first time they wondered whether they had overlooked someone truly rare. Hours later, their brother brought the subject up again without any hesitation. This time, the message was even stronger. They explained that a peaceful home is built by the character of the person inside it, and that a genuine smile can leave a deeper impression than wealth or appearance alone. Those words landed heavily on your person's heart. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. They could no longer convince themselves that this was just another random conversation. Instead, It felt like a wake-up call that challenged everything they believed. Questions filled their mind, and every answer seemed to lead back to you. Before the day ended, your person found themselves standing quietly, thinking about what should happen next. They realized some conversations arrive at exactly the right moment, even when they are unexpected. The silence around them no longer felt empty, it felt full of possibilities. Don't skip, because the next part reveals the decision they quietly began making after their brother's unforgettable words. Something huge is waiting for you, and the truth behind that decision is far bigger than anyone imagined. Everything seemed normal on the outside, yet inside your person something had completely changed. They tried to continue with their daily routine, but every quiet moment brought the same thoughts back again. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Their brother's words had become impossible to silence. They started noticing how often your name appeared in their mind without warning. It happened while walking, while sitting alone, even during conversations with other people. The more they tried to push those thoughts away, the stronger they returned. What once felt like coincidence was beginning to feel like a message they could no longer ignore. Later that day, their brother noticed the change and smiled without saying much. After a long pause, they quietly asked, "Are you finally understanding what I was trying to tell you?" Those simple words carried incredible weight. Your person did not answer immediately because deep inside they knew the answer already. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. They remembered every kind gesture, every calm conversation, and every moment when your presence brought a sense of comfort that could not be explained. Suddenly, the conversation was no longer about your house or your face. It had become about the peace, trust, and warmth they always felt whenever they thought about you. As evening arrived, your person made a quiet promise to themselves. They would stop ignoring what had become so clear. They realized that some truths take time before they finally make sense, and this was one of them. Don't skip, because the next part reveals the unexpected step they secretly prepared after accepting what their brother had been trying to show them all along. Something huge is waiting for you, and the next chapter brings a revelation that changes the direction of this story forever. A quiet shift had already begun, even though nobody around your person could see it. The outside world looked exactly the same, but their heart no longer felt the same as it did before that unforgettable conversation. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. They started paying attention to little signs they had ignored for months. A familiar place reminded them of you. A simple smile from someone else reminded them of your kindness. Even the thought of your house no longer represented just a building, it represented comfort, stability, and a place where they imagined genuine happiness could exist. Their brother's words continued to echo with surprising clarity, making it impossible to return to the way things were before. Then something happened that caught them completely off guard. Their brother looked at them once again and quietly said, "Some opportunities don't wait forever." Those words stayed in the air long after the conversation ended. Your person realized that waiting too long could become their biggest regret. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. For the first time, they stopped making excuses and started asking themselves difficult questions. Why had they been holding back? Why had they ignored what their own heart had been trying to tell them? Every answer pointed in the same direction, and every memory made your importance grow even stronger in their mind. What once felt uncertain was now beginning to feel undeniable. As the night came to an end, your person understood that the next step could change everything. They knew they could no longer pretend that the conversation had meant nothing. Don't skip, because the next part uncovers the unexpected action they quietly prepared after accepting the truth hidden inside their brother's words. Something huge is waiting for you, and what happens next will reveal whether this story moves toward a new beginning or takes a completely unexpected turn. The next chapter began with a silence that felt louder than words. Your person had reached a point where pretending nothing had changed was no longer possible. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. The memory of that conversation with their brother followed them everywhere, and one sentence refused to leave their heart. Sometimes the place that feels like home is connected to the person you've been overlooking. Those words echoed through their thoughts until they finally stopped running from them. They realized that your house was never the real subject of the conversation. It represented the peace they had been searching for, while your face reminded them of sincerity they had rarely found anywhere else. Every passing hour made that realization stronger. Later, an unexpected moment made everything even more powerful. While sitting alone, your person remembered a detail they had completely forgotten. Their brother had quietly smiled before leaving and said, "One day you'll thank me for telling you the truth." At the time, those words seemed ordinary. Now they carried incredible weight. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Your person understood that some truths arrive through the people closest to us, even when we are not ready to hear them. Instead of feeling confused, they began feeling certain. They could no longer dismiss the growing pull in their heart. It wasn't pressure. It wasn't imagination. It was clarity arriving after a long season of uncertainty. As the night grew quieter, your person made a decision they shared with no one. They chose to stop allowing fear and hesitation to control what came next. Don't skip, because the next part reveals the first quiet move they make after accepting the truth that their brother saw long before they did. Something huge is waiting for you, and what happens next will leave even your person wondering why they waited so long to see what had been right in front of them all along. A new chapter unfolded without anyone noticing at first. Your person wasn't speaking about their decision, but their actions had already begun to change. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Instead of avoiding the thoughts that had been following them, they finally allowed themselves to face them honestly. Every memory connected to you became clearer than before. The more they reflected, the more they understood that their brother had never been trying to influence them. He had simply pointed out a truth that had been visible all along. What once seemed like an ordinary conversation now felt like the turning point of an entire journey. Then another unexpected moment arrived. Their brother casually asked, "Have you been thinking about what I said?" This time, your person didn't deny it. They simply smiled, and that silent smile revealed more than words ever could. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. In that quiet exchange, they realized they were no longer searching for excuses. They were searching for courage. Every doubt that had once held them back was slowly losing its grip. The image of your peaceful home, your calm presence, and the genuine expression on your face continued to return to their mind, bringing a sense of certainty they had never experienced before. As darkness settled once again, your person looked ahead instead of looking back. They knew the next step could no longer be delayed forever. Don't skip, because the next part reveals the surprising opportunity that suddenly appears, giving them the chance they never expected to have. Something huge is waiting for you, and the moment they have been quietly preparing for is now closer than ever before. A moment arrived that felt too perfectly timed to ignore. Just when your person thought they needed more time, life placed an unexpected opportunity directly in front of them. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. It wasn't loud or dramatic, but it was impossible to overlook. A familiar name, a familiar place, and a familiar memory all appeared within a short span of time, making them wonder if they were being guided toward a decision they had delayed for far too long. Their brother noticed the change immediately and quietly smiled, as though he had been expecting this moment from the very beginning. The more your person reflected, the more one truth became impossible to deny. They realized that the conversation about your house and your face had never been about appearances. It had been about the feeling of peace, trust, and authenticity that stayed with them long after every meeting. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. They remembered how comfortable they felt around you, how natural every conversation seemed, and how even simple moments carried a lasting impression. Those memories became stronger than every doubt they had been holding on to, and for the first time, they stopped questioning what their heart had been trying to tell them. Before the day ended, your person quietly decided that waiting any longer would only create more regret. They knew the next move had to come from them. Don't skip, because the next part reveals the unexpected step they prepare to take, one that could open a completely new chapter in this story. Something huge is waiting for you, and the truth that has been building since that unforgettable conversation is finally on the verge of being revealed. The waiting was almost over, but the biggest surprise had not yet arrived. Your person woke up with a sense that something was different, as if the conversation with their brother had finally settled into their heart instead of just their mind. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. They stopped looking for reasons to delay and started looking for the right moment to move forward. Every reminder of you felt stronger than before, and every quiet thought pointed toward the same conclusion. The words about your house and your face had become symbols of something much deeper: comfort, honesty, and a future that suddenly seemed possible. Then came the moment no one expected. Their brother spoke only a few words, but those words carried incredible weight. You'll never know what could happen unless you take the first step. Your person stood there in complete silence. They realized they had spent too much time wondering, what if, instead of discovering the answer for themselves. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Fear slowly gave way to determination, and uncertainty was replaced with quiet confidence. For the first time in a long while, they felt ready to leave hesitation behind and follow what their heart had been trying to reveal all along. As this chapter closes, one thing has become clear: the story is no longer about a single conversation. It is about a choice that has the power to change everything. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. In the next part, the hidden decision your person has been keeping to themselves finally comes into the light, and the outcome will be more surprising than anyone imagined. The moment your person had been avoiding finally arrived. There was no dramatic announcement, no crowd, and no grand display, only a quiet decision that carried more weight than anything they had said before. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. They remembered every word their brother had spoken that night, especially the reminder that some people bring peace simply by being themselves. The thoughts about your house and your face were no longer passing memories. They had become symbols of everything your person believed they had been searching for without realizing it. In that quiet moment, they admitted to themselves that running from the truth would only lead to regret. As the day continued, unexpected confirmations seemed to appear everywhere. Familiar places reminded them of conversations with you. Small moments sparked memories they thought had faded long ago. Even their brother noticed the difference and said, "You finally look like someone who knows where they're going." Those words stayed with your person for the rest of the day. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. They smiled for the first time without uncertainty, because they understood that clarity often arrives after a season of confusion. What once felt impossible now seemed completely within reach, and they were no longer afraid of what the future might hold. Now the story stands at the edge of its greatest turning point. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Your person has made a choice that will soon begin to show through their actions instead of their thoughts. The next chapter reveals the unexpected moment when everything they have been feeling starts becoming visible, and the truth they have kept hidden can no longer remain a secret. A quiet transformation was now impossible to hide. Your person no longer questioned the conversation that had changed everything. Instead, they carried it with them like a reminder that some of life's greatest answers arrive through the simplest words. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Every hesitation that once stood in their way had begun to fade. They understood that their brother had not been predicting the future, he had simply recognized what was already present. Your house represented warmth, your face reflected sincerity, and together they painted a picture your person could no longer ignore. What had started as an ordinary evening had quietly become the beginning of a completely different path. Then came the final conversation between the two brothers. This time, there were no long speeches. Their brother simply looked at them and smiled, saying, "Now you know why I said those words." Your person nodded without hesitation. They no longer needed explanations because the truth had settled in their heart. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. They realized that some people enter your life for a reason, and sometimes it takes an unexpected conversation to reveal just how valuable that connection truly is. Every memory now carried hope instead of uncertainty, and every thought about the future felt brighter than before. As this journey reaches its closing chapter, one truth remains stronger than anything else. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. The greatest revelation was never hidden inside a single sentence about your house or your face, it was hidden in what those words awakened inside your person. They finally chose honesty over fear, hope over doubt, and action over silence. The story ends with a new beginning, reminding us that one sincere conversation can change a heart forever, and sometimes the smallest moment becomes the one that changes everything. The story should have ended there, but it didn't. In fact, the most unexpected chapter was only beginning. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. After everything their brother had said, your person began noticing changes that were impossible to explain away. The hesitation that had followed them for so long was gone. Instead, they carried a quiet confidence that surprised even those closest to them. They no longer looked at the past with uncertainty. They looked toward the future with hope, believing that some conversations are meant to awaken truths that have been sleeping inside the heart all along. Days passed, and their brother watched this transformation with a knowing smile. One evening he quietly said, "I knew those words would stay with you." Your person admitted that he had been right. They confessed that every thought kept leading back to the same place, the same peaceful image, and the same person. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. For the first time, they stopped asking whether the connection was real and started asking what they should do about it. That single change in thinking opened a door they had kept locked for far too long. Fear no longer controlled their decisions. Confidence had quietly taken its place. Now the final revelation is closer than ever. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Your person understands that the next move cannot remain only a thought. It must become an action. The next and final chapter reveals the surprising step they choose to take, the truth they have been holding inside, and why that unforgettable conversation with their brother became the turning point that changed everything forever. The final chapter begins with a calm that feels different from every moment before it. Your person is no longer carrying unanswered questions. They have reached a place where their heart and their mind finally agree. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Looking back, they realize that the conversation with their brother was never just about your house or your face. It was about recognizing qualities that cannot be measured: peace, kindness, honesty, and the feeling of belonging. Those words became the spark that changed the way they saw everything, and once that truth became clear, there was no turning back. When they met their brother one last time, there were no dramatic speeches. He simply smiled and said, "I knew you'd understand one day." Your person smiled back because they finally did. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. They understood that real change begins the moment someone stops ignoring what is already in their heart. Instead of letting fear write the next chapter, they chose courage. Instead of letting silence create distance, they chose honesty. The conversation that started unexpectedly had become the foundation for a completely new beginning, one built on clarity instead of confusion. As this journey comes to its close, one message remains. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Sometimes a single conversation can redirect an entire life, not because it predicts the future, but because it reveals what has been hidden in plain sight all along. Your person's greatest discovery was not about a place or an appearance, it was about recognizing the value of a genuine connection before it was too late. And with that realization, they stepped forward with hope, ready to embrace the next chapter with an open heart and a clear purpose. A final surprise remained hidden long after everyone believed the story was complete. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Days after that unforgettable conversation, your person found themselves smiling at memories they had once overlooked. It was no longer about trying to understand what their brother had meant. They understood it completely now. Every word had become a reminder that the most valuable things in life are often the quietest. They realized your house represented peace they could feel from a distance, and your face reminded them of a sincerity that could never be replaced. The truth had settled deep within them, and there was no desire to deny it anymore. As they reflected on everything that had happened, another realization appeared. Their brother had never tried to make the decision for them. He had only held up a mirror so your person could finally see what had been standing in front of them all along. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. Your person understood that some opportunities arrive only once, and they promised themselves they would never again ignore what their heart recognized as genuine. Every hesitation had become a lesson, every delay had become wisdom, and every memory had become a reason to move forward with confidence instead of fear. Now this journey reaches its true ending, yet it also feels like the beginning of something greater. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. The conversation that began unexpectedly between two brothers became the moment that changed an entire perspective. What started with simple words about your house and your face ended with a deeper understanding of trust, respect, and appreciation. Sometimes the greatest turning points are not announced with loud voices, they arrive quietly, remain in the heart, and transform a life one honest thought at a time. A quiet truth remained even after every conversation had ended. Your person discovered that some moments continue to grow in meaning long after they are over. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. The words their brother spoke that night no longer sounded like an opinion, they felt like a reminder they had needed all along. Every time they thought about your house, they remembered the feeling of peace it represented. Every time they thought about your face, they remembered the calm confidence and kindness they had quietly admired. Those memories no longer came with confusion. They came with certainty. As the days passed, your person noticed something unexpected within themselves. They had stopped searching for signs because the answer was already clear. Their brother simply smiled one last time and said, "The truth always finds its way to those who are willing to see it." Those words settled deeply in your person's heart. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. They realized that genuine connections are not built on perfect timing but on recognizing value before it slips away. Instead of wondering what might happen someday, they decided to appreciate what had already become undeniable. The story now reaches its quiet conclusion, but its message continues long after the final words. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. The greatest discovery was never hidden in a dramatic event, it was hidden in a simple conversation that opened a heart, changed a perspective, and inspired a new beginning. Sometimes the smallest words become the biggest turning points, and sometimes one honest conversation is all it takes to change the direction of an entire journey forever.